There are moments in life when you wake up and you feel it before you open your eyes. That heaviness on your chest, that silent pressure behind your ribs, that feeling you can't name. You don't feel strong. You don't feel grounded. You don't feel like the person you believed you were supposed to become. You just feel weak. And the strange part is, nothing catastrophic happened today. No earthquake, no explosion, no tragedy. Just life, as usual. Yet something inside you feels drained, powerless, without direction. And you're left wondering, what's wrong with me? Why can't I be stronger? Why can't I be like others who move through life with confidence and clarity? Italian. Psychology has a name for this condition. Peso invisibile, the invisible weight. A slow, subtle accumulation of emotional heaviness built from unspoken fears, unresolved conflicts, expectations from society, your family, and even the younger version of yourself who believed you would have everything figured out by now. You feel weak not because you are weak, but because you've been carrying this invisible weight for far too long. Think about it. Every disappointment you never expressed, every heartbreak you tried to ignore, every dream you were forced to shrink because someone told you it was unrealistic, every comparison you couldn't resist making, every time you pretended to be fine, all of that becomes psychological weight. And here's the first truth from Italian psychology. You cannot feel strong while carrying a weight you refuse to acknowledge. You see, weakness isn't the absence of strength. Weakness is the exhaustion that comes from pretending. Pretending you don't care. Pretending you're not hurt. Pretending everything is under control. Pretending you're not tired of being the strong one for everyone else. The Italian philosopher Umberto Galimberti once said something powerful. Le emozioni non ascoltate diventano tiranni. Emotions that are not listened to become tyrants. Your weakness is not a flaw. It's a signal. Voice that has been whispering for years. And now, it's finally raising its volume. This first segment is the awakening, because before you understand strength, you must understand why you currently feel weak. Weakness is not who you are. Weakness is simply where you are standing. And this is where transformation begins. In Italian psychology, there is a deeply philosophical idea called fragilità, fragility. But unlike the English meaning, which often implies dysfunction or breakability, the Italian interpretation means something more profound. Fragilità is the state in which a human is most capable of transformation, because fragility forces honesty. Fragility removes masks. Fragility strips away illusion. When you feel weak, you are actually in your most raw, unfiltered, and truthful form. And most people spend their entire lives avoiding that moment. They drown themselves in distractions, noise, work, endless scrolling, meaningless relationships. Anything to avoid meeting themselves. But not you. Right now, you're facing yourself. And that is where real change begins. Think about how marble, statues are made in Italy. Michelangelo, Bernini, Donatello, their masterpieces came from breaking stone, carving pieces away, removing the unnecessary layers. Strength isn't built by adding. Strength is built by subtracting. Your weakness is revealing which parts of you need to be carved away. The habits you've outgrown, the toxic people who drain you, the beliefs you inherited that no longer serve your future. Italian psychologists talk about la ferita che apre la strada, the wound that opens the path. Your weakness is that wound. It feels painful, but it's actually a doorway. You've been taught your entire life to hide your fragility, to stay composed, silent, controlled, perfect. But perfection is a prison. And the moment you let yourself feel weak, you unlock the courage to grow. This is why so many people remain stuck. They avoid the discomfort that leads to evolution, but not you. Your fragilità is trying to tell you, you are not broken, you are becoming. The difference between the weak and the strong is not the absence of fear. It's the willingness to walk through it. And right now, in this moment of weakness, you are closer to strength than you have ever been in your life. In Italy, resilience isn't defined as a heroic, dramatic comeback. It's not a movie scene where you suddenly rise with music swelling behind you. No, true resilienza is quieter, unromantic, daily. It's the art of rebuilding yourself little by little, like the ancient Italian villages that were destroyed by earthquakes, only to be restored stone by stone over generations. Resilience is not a moment, it's a commitment, and here's the mistake most people make. They try to overcome life in one grand gesture. They wait for motivation to strike like lightning. They expect transformation overnight. But real change is slow, patient, persistent. It's in the decisions you make when no one is watching, waking up when you don't feel like it, getting back to work even when you're discouraged, choosing discipline over impulsiveness, controlling your thoughts instead of letting them control you. Italian psychology teaches something powerful. Your identity is shaped by the actions you repeat, not the emotions you feel. Feeling weak does not make you weak. Acting weak does, and here's the secret. You don't need to feel strong to act strong. Strength is built from behavior, not emotion. A man who feels afraid but still moves forward is courage. A woman who feels tired but still shows up is discipline. A person who feels lost but keeps searching is resilience. You become strong long before you feel strong. And somewhere, in the future, you will look back and realize the strength you were searching for was being built in the quiet, painful, lonely days you thought you were failing. Italian psychology places immense importance on identità. Identity, not the identity. Society gives you not the identity your past locks you into, but the identity you choose. And this is one of the deepest truths. You feel weak because you are living a life that no longer matches your identity. Maybe you're stuck in a job that drains your spirit. Maybe you're surrounded by people who don't understand your dreams. Maybe you're following rules written by someone who no longer exists, your older self, the one who made decisions based on fear, insecurity, or survival. You have outgrown your environment, but you haven't yet stepped into the next version of yourself. Italian psychologists call this the identity gap, the space between who you were and who you're meant to become. And this is where weakness appears, not to punish you, but to alert you. It's time to evolve. Feeling weak is not a flaw, it's an identity alarm. It's the universe, your intuition, your psychology, all shouting the same message. You're not supposed to stay here anymore. Your weakness is not the end, it's the beginning, and if you listen closely, you'll hear something else. Your future self calling you forward. That version of you who is stronger, calmer, more focused, more disciplined, more confident. That person already exists inside you. Your job is to remove everything that hides them. When you stop clinging to who you were, you make space for who you can become. This is the final truth. The one Italian psychology insists on. You do not become strong by avoiding weakness. You become strong by walking through it. Weakness is part of your story. It is not a chapter you erase. It is the chapter that transforms the entire book. Think of every great Italian hero, philosopher, artist. They did not rise in moments of perfection. They rose in moments of collapse. Dante wrote the Divine Comedy in exile. Michelangelo sculpted masterpieces in loneliness. Leonardo created genius from curiosity and constant inner conflict. Strength is always born from struggle, always, and now it's your turn, not to rush, not to force, not to compare yourself with others, but to rise slowly, intentionally, courageously, step by step, day by day, choice by choice. Because here's the truth. You have survived every bad day so far. You have overcome every heartbreak. You have rebuilt yourself after every disappointment. You are still here, breathing, learning, evolving. That is not weakness, that is power. So from today forward, when you feel weak, don't hide it, don't judge it, don't fear it. Look at it directly and say, this is the part of me that is growing. And one day soon, sooner than you expect, you will wake up and feel something familiar, yet reborn. Strength, clarity, purpose, power. Not because life became easier, but because you became stronger. You were never weak, you were simply carrying a story that wasn't finished yet. Now, Finish it, rise, transform, become the person you were always capable of becoming. Your new life begins the moment you decide to step into it. And that moment is now.